I spent 2 weeks in Japan going to over 30 vintage and thrift stores all over Tokyo, Osaka, and Yokohama. I'll be releasing a guide on ones I liked and ones you should check out. We'll also try to link all the clothes in the description. My current style is kind of minimal, kind of more workwear focused, versatile pieces that you can wear a lot. Usually go monochrome, maybe a bit of navy, maybe a pop of red or something, but usually quite minimal. I try to buy things that are more well made, things that are going to last a long time and that I can wear a lot. Get my cost per wear down, all that good stuff. First of all, disclaimer, I had a lot of things on my list that I wanted to buy specifically, and it actually helped me out a lot. Going through all these vintage shops, all these thrifts, and just looking for something specific was a lot easier than sorting through hundreds of items of clothes. So that's a tip if you're going to go do that in Japan. For reference, I'm about 182 centimeters and 75 kgs, and I wear about a 31-inch waist. Now that that's all out of the way, let me get into the things that I actually bought. First thing I got was this wool jacket from Conz. So this was actually a Japanese brand, they told me, in the store. Very nice staff member, spoke a little bit of English, and he explained that this is a fully designed in Japan, 100% Japanese wool, a wool jacket. And I love it. I love the material. It's got like that suit inner lining. I like the silver YKK two-way zip and the silver buttons as well. I think this works well as a formal piece, and the silver reversible zip can let you have a nice break in the outfit without needing it to have a crop. It's a Japanese brand I've never heard before. Bespoke, very cool. And yeah, I was just happy to get one of these. The next car. So this is a Nautica Japan jacket. No idea how old it was, but I got it at 2nd Street, which is a very popular secondhand store that's quite curated. They have a lot of brands like Engineered Garments, APC, Supreme. They usually have decently discounted prices, and every store has different stock, so it's always worth checking out. The jacket itself is in really good condition, and I like the natural fading that it has. Stitching and other details are also really nice. And because it's lined, it was also nice and warm during the cold weather. And also the arms are quite thick, which gives it an interesting shape. On my list of things that I wanted to get was a grey kind of workwear style jacket, and this was basically perfect. I was searching pretty hard, pretty long, a lot of different stores, and then finally found one in a 2nd Street. So that's great. Next up, this Harley made in Scotland turtleneck that I thrifted as well from the same 2nd Street. I ended up doing some research about the brand while I was in the store and found out that they've been around since the 1920s and are now known for their seamless knitwear using premium materials. They have an interesting history section on their website, but the thing that stood out to me was their commitment to resisting fast fashion and using superior natural fibers. This is always nice and something I'm getting more behind these days. This is fully lamb's wool, which is super nice, and it has that crop length, super warm. And originally they are about $300 to $400, which is crazy because I got this for about 13,000 yen, which is about 140-50 New Zealand dollars, which is a great steal. And I'm so glad I found this. I was looking for a nice navy kind of crew neck sweater type thing, so I'm super happy I got this one. Going back to jackets real quick, I did get this one from Big Time in Shimozutakawa, and this one is actually one of the brands that they stock. So this isn't vintage, but it's a really cool suede jacket with like an inner lining, and I thought this was just a really nice jacket. I really wanted like a varsity jacket with patches, but then I also kind of wanted a corduroy jacket, and this is like a nice mix of both of those. Yeah, Lake P kind of nonsense design, nonsense English on there, but you know, I just thought it looked cool. I've never been in a marching band, but I'll LARP as a marching band member, I guess. Another thing I like about this one is its crop length. So, you know, fitting in with the trends of crops and stuff and getting those proportions right. This is very nice length as well. So back actually does have a lot of different types of jackets. My friend ended up getting a leather jacket from them, and they actually do have a website. So you can check out a bunch of the things that they have. And maybe if you're not visiting Japan, maybe you could get it shipped to yourself. Check that out. Next up, I got these Japan blue jeans. These are the J504s, and these are African cotton, I believe, 12.5 ounces, so they're not too heavy. The cool thing about this cotton is it's naturally colored brown, which recreates the old-fashioned blue of the early 1900s. If you don't know anything about Selvedge denim, or you don't care about Selvedge denim, basically what Selvedge denim is just this little piece here indicates that it is Selvedge denim. And with the self-finished edge, the ends won't fray or unravel. So this denim is woven on a vintage power shuttle loom. There are a limited amount of these shuttle looms left in the world. They've stopped producing them. So it has a very vintage feel to it. So why does it matter? You can just get a cool texture from these machines on the fabric. It's comfortable. because it's got a lower tension, so it's a bit softer, and it can age nicely. So this one has a curved belt instead of a straight belt, which is meant to be more comfortable and have a better fit. They are pretty nice, and because I could get them in my actual size 31, they fit perfectly. So these are also a loose fit, straight leg, and high rise, which is about the perfect style that I'm going for right now. I've been wanting some Selvedge denim for a really long time, but I never had the opportunity to try some or buy some, and I finally did, and I was super happy with these. With the brown and the cotton, I'm very interested to see how it ages. If it looks like I got dookie stains on my pants, then well, it is what it is, you know, but we'll see what happens. Now, if you compare it to these other pants that I got, these Carhartt simple pants, these ones are not Selvedge, but I bought them because I really like the contrast stitching. I thought it just really looked cool. And Carhartt is a lot cheaper in Japan, actually, compared to where I would get it from, which was Carhartt Australia. I think these were about probably $60 cheaper than you would get just based on the conversion and because you can get tax off. I like the color of these ones as well in contrast to the Selvedge denim, so I have some more variety. And I got these in a 32. They don't fit as well as the 31s, but I just wear a belt with them, so there you go. I did end up getting a New Balance Ohtani hoodie from the Ginza New Balance store. Am I a bandwagon of Ohtani? A little bit, you know. Definitely followed since the Angels in his MVP seasons, like a lot of people. Did I make a whole poster dedicated to his MVP season? Yes, I did. You know, everyone knows. He's everywhere. He's plastered all over the walls. He's on every ad, which also means I had to buy an Ohtani shirt. This was in a random sports store that I found. This was like the last one in its size, and I just thought it was, out of all of them, the best designed one. Yeah, I mean, it turns out it's just a Fanatics shirt, so nothing like vintage or anything. But again, you can't really get these in New Zealand, and if you do, you're paying obscene amount of shipping. So I was happy to get this for a decent price, and I think that it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Whatever. So if you're like me from New Zealand or from another country that doesn't have Uniqlo, you are a little jealous of everyone who has Uniqlo. But when you go to somewhere like Japan, you go to Australia, of course, you're going to get something. I did end up buying a few things from Uniqlo, and it turns out in Japan, it is a lot cheaper than even Australia, based on the currency, based on everything. So I got this cashmere sweater from Uniqlo. The Australian one is about 130 AUD, where in Japan, this was on sale, and it was about 7,190 yen, which is about 77, 80 bucks in New Zealand. Big difference. So there you go. Very warm, obviously, cashmere. Again, another Uniqlo piece. This one is the brushed mock neck, I believe. Uniqlo U brushed mock neck. And this one was just a nice layer that I bought. It was a nice underlayer. I didn't bring too much to Japan, so having this was also quite nice when it was quite cold. I believe this is like listed as black, but it's more gray, dark gray, which actually I was looking for. Matches well with the gray jacket, the Nautica jacket that I got. So that's quite nice as well. Last interesting thing I got from Uniqlo was just these white herringbone pants. These are nice for more formal, and also because it has a nice texture to it. Can't go wrong with Uniqlo. Something quite interesting actually is the hem width of these pants are quite similar, but they do feel like they sit differently on your shoe. So it does depend, but if you were interested, they all are basically the same hem width. Something I was also looking for was some tinted glasses. So I got these ones from Top of the Hill. And the problem with these ones is that they were the last ones, but they are also missing one of the nose pads. But fortunately, I could get them fixed pretty easily back home in New Zealand. So I just said, oh well, I'll just get them and then hopefully get them fixed. So still waiting to do that, but we'll do that soon. So when we were in Yokohama, we weren't expecting really to go shopping, but we ended up going to this place called Yokohama World. And there they had the Kit Kat Chocolatery, which is a really good place. I would recommend that. You can buy a whole box. I got a 70 box of variety Kit Kats, and that's a great gift. But they had a lot of vintage stores just on the upper levels. And I found this carabiner in one of those vintage stores called Spins. Thought this looked very cool. It's just a nice accessory to have. Another carabiner, but with a tag. This one is from Beams. So Beams is a popular brand in Japan, but this is from Beams Shibuya. I just thought this is like a really nice addition to hold with your keys. It's like a nice accessory. And then I believe you can put like a air tag in here as well. I did also end up buying a couple tote bags. So one of them is from a place called New York Joe Exchange. This is like a vintage thrift store, and they will buy clothes as well. They have a store in Shibuya and they have a store in Shimozutokawa. I went to the Shibuya one and saw this bag. I wanted a light colored tote bag, but I actually love the utility of having the dark base, because you know, you sit down your tote bag, gets dirty. With this black, you know, hopefully it won't look like ass in like a couple weeks or something. And AS Color actually has one similar, but this was a bit more expensive, but a bit more unique. I did also get this tote from Uniqlo Ginza. So that one is about 12, 13 stories. It's huge, but they have a few exclusive to Ginza Uniqlo like totes and stuff. I like this one for the popper color that it has compared to the other tote bag that I just got. So an additional thing that's nice about these tote bags is it has a little extra pocket on the top. That's quite nice. Some other cool random things I bought that I was super excited about was these arcade buttons here. I like playing Street Fighter, and these buttons are mechanical switches instead of the normal Sanwa buttons. I know that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but they just sound better, they feel better. Super happy to get these in Osaka because they're pretty hard to get. Like in New Zealand, basically impossible, but in Japan they just had them in the store. All you gotta do is just listen to this. So these are the old ones. This is the new one. Oh, come on now. And that's pretty much it. The coolest things I got in Japan in 2 weeks. I did buy a bunch of other random things, a bunch of gifts, a bunch of Kit Kats, things like that. But those were the coolest things I bought. I will be releasing a guide and talking about all the stores I went to for vintage and thrifts and things like that. Just other cool stores, other cool brands. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Thanks.